Most people don't struggle because they lack ideas. They struggle because creating content every single day slowly becomes a full-time job. What's surprising is that publishing consistently often matters more than creating one perfect post. Consistency usually wins over occasional bursts of creativity. That made me wonder whether AI could actually remove the repetitive work without making content feel robotic. That's exactly what caught my attention about this AI Socials Elite review.
Most creators don't just post on one platform anymore. Every channel seems to demand different formats, different timing, and different content.
The real bottleneck isn't creativity. It's repeating the same workflow over and over until content production starts taking more time than actual marketing.
Planning, writing, editing, scheduling, and publishing may each seem small, but together they consume hours every single week. That's why so many businesses eventually look for systems instead of shortcuts. Better workflows usually outperform working longer hours. Automation isn't about replacing people. It's about removing repetitive tasks so your attention can stay on ideas that actually move your business forward.
While researching different AI workflow tools, AI Socials Elite stood out because it wasn't trying to do just one thing. It appeared to...
The more I explored it, the more it seemed designed around an entire workflow instead of a single AI feature. That immediately made it more interesting than many tools I've seen.
Rather than focusing only on writing captions or creating images, the platform appears to help organize the entire publishing process, from idea generation through scheduling.
That broader approach could make sense for agencies, freelancers, creators, affiliate marketers, and small businesses juggling multiple platforms every week. Instead of thinking about individual posts, I started thinking about systems. A repeatable workflow often creates better long-term results than constantly chasing new ideas. Imagine preparing an entire week's worth of content in one focused session, instead of interrupting your day every few hours just to publish another post. What interested me most wasn't automation itself. It was whether automation could remove repetitive work while still leaving room for creativity and personal branding. Instead of jumping between 5 or 6 different applications, everything appears designed to work together as one connected content workflow. That doesn't necessarily make content effortless, but reducing repetitive production work could free up more time for strategy, storytelling, and building relationships with your audience. Once I understood that philosophy, I became much more interested in how the platform could actually fit into everyday content creation, rather than simply adding another AI tool to the collection. One practical use I noticed is preparing content in batches. Instead of creating posts every day, you can build a workflow that keeps your channels active while you focus on other priorities. Creators often lose more time switching between tasks than actually creating content. Reducing those interruptions can make the entire process feel much more manageable. If you manage content for multiple clients, having one place to organize planning and publishing may simplify work that would otherwise require several separate platforms. For online stores, staying visible often means posting consistently rather than occasionally. A structured workflow can help keep that momentum going. Small business owners usually wear multiple hats. Any tool that reduces repetitive marketing work gives them more time to focus on customers and daily operations. What matters isn't producing hundreds of posts overnight. It's maintaining a realistic publishing rhythm that you can actually sustain. One thing I appreciate is remembering that AI should support creativity, not replace it. Even strong AI content usually benefits from a quick human review before publishing. The biggest productivity gains often come from improving small daily habits. Saving just a little time every day adds up surprisingly quickly over weeks and months. So far, the platform feels less like a shortcut to success and more like a productivity assistant. The next question, one thing I always ask when reviewing software is whether it actually saves time after the excitement wears off. That's usually where the real value becomes clear.
If you're still writing every caption, scheduling every post, and switching between multiple apps, there's a good chance your workflow is costing more time than necessary.
What I like here is that the platform doesn't try to replace your ideas. Instead, it appears designed to reduce repetitive execution so your creativity has more room to breathe. That's also why I wouldn't recommend publishing everything exactly as AI generates it. A few minutes of personal editing can make content feel much more authentic.
For people creating content every week, even saving an hour or two repeatedly can have a surprisingly large impact over the course of a year. If you're curious about pricing, comparisons, bonuses, and everything I discovered during my research, I documented all of it in the complete review linked below.
I also included additional observations that didn't fit into this video, especially around who may benefit most and where the platform may not be the right choice. Every tool has trade-offs. It's about looking honestly at where it performs well and where expectations should stay realistic. Understanding both the strengths and the limitations is ultimately what separates a useful review from a promotional video, so let's take a balanced look at both. The biggest strength I noticed is how the platform brings several content tasks together. Instead of constantly switching between different software, much of the workflow stays in one place.
That kind of organization becomes especially valuable when you're managing several social platforms or creating content for multiple clients at the same time.
Another advantage is flexibility. AI provides a strong starting point, but you still have complete control over refining the final content before it reaches your audience. For people who already understand their audience, automation can help them execute faster without changing the strategy they've already developed. Of course, there are limitations too. No AI platform completely replaces experience, creativity, or understanding what truly connects with your audience.
If you're expecting perfect content with zero editing, you'll probably be disappointed. A quick human review still makes a noticeable difference in quality.
I'd say this platform fits people who already publish regularly and want to work more efficiently, rather than people searching for a shortcut to instant success. For beginners, there may still be a learning curve, especially if content marketing itself is completely new. The software can speed up execution, but it can't replace learning the fundamentals. After looking at both the strengths and the compromises, my overall impression became much clearer, and that's probably the most important part of this review.